Time for another bad anime review. But before starting, thanks YouTube for giving me a copyright strike when all I did was a fair use review. I don't see you doing the same thing to other channels that also did a review on the anime called Aiken, but for some reason it was only me that got hit, so thanks for the bias system that you have. Well, after that little rant, let's begin. As you can see from most of my reviews on bad anime, most of them are advertisements for video games. It doesn't matter if it is a visual novel, a cell phone app, or a standard video game. It always seems that the marketing behind the production and promotion of a video game through an anime gives horrible results without passion. Maybe the only show that does this right is Pokemon, with their hundreds of episodes. Ash may not win the league, but it is done better than most of the anime adaptations about video games out there. One of the recent cases that I can recall being an awful adaptation of a video game is Persona 5 the animation, but today we are not here to talk about Persona 5 the animation since that is too mainstream. Today's focus is on a show that I think you have never heard in your life, and today's turn is Haru no Ashoto. Haru no Ashoto is a visual novel for the PlayStation 2 and PC developed by Minori, which in my opinion they do fantastic visual novels. I have this one called Eden, and as far as my playthrough has been going, it has been great. I feel that the artwork and overall themes Minori presents are done better than other visual novel companies, but hey, that's just my opinion. Also, Minori is responsible for helping one of the famous directors of the last years, Makoto Shinkai. He used to work on the animation of opening sequence for the company's games during certain period, and as always with visual novels, an anime must be produced. Or a movie? Yeah, this has movie in its name, but it's barely 20 minutes. So, what is Haru no Ashoto the movie about? Well, I don't know if this is part of the visual novel, which I doubt, but the story centers about these three prodigy girls that are trapped in their school and they must survive because, how do I put this in words? A teacher is making a coup d'etat in the school so she can rule over it. I don't have words to describe this one. A school? You are making a coup d'etat for a dumb building called school? I don't know, maybe a city or a country will make this show more interesting, but a school? Maybe explain that the school contains nuclear arms or a super important government secret under the building, but no, just for the sake of controlling a school? Wow, that's pathetic. To be fair, yes, the story is very stupid, but the level of stupidity doesn't make me go crazy like some other shows that I have reviewed. From everything else I have reviewed so far, this one seems to be one of those that doesn't take itself too seriously and plays around with the production budget they had. But one of the problems that it has, it just feels too basic. The setting and the situations that are shown are simply average, but it doesn't have that sense of mediocrity to be called one of the worst animes out there. The story features mystical item called a baseball bat from a famous player that at first I thought it was based on a real baseball player, but it seems they invented that name because the guy doesn't exist according to Google. But the main problem with this movie is that there's no action at all. The producers decided to cut every single type of action movement every time they could, and just hide it with either dark background or just showing the characters being knocked out. The only part where they show action is in the opening sequence, which is a shame because it could have been a nice show about girls kicking other girls' asses for the control of the school, but I see that they didn't like that idea. Speaking about characters, they are tropes, but they do the job. You have the intelligent one that has to put her glasses on every time she can, and two clumsy girls that just follow her so they can achieve their victory. And the last character, the villain, who is the teacher that like many other anime girls, they had to do this type of laugh. She shows that she belongs to an evil society with this type of laugh, and that you have heard many times before in anime and video games. Talking about another aspect, the animation is okay, and I can consider it somehow good. There isn't anything wrong with it, but it's very standard, although I believe it still holds up for something made in 2006. But there's one particular scene that caught my eye, and it was in this instant.
これでカードはバッチリ。いつもの地下しか知らない人だったらびっくりしちゃうよね。よし。ふふふ、ここは通さないよー。
I am not an expert in animation, but it seems that the animators forgot that the background should have stayed static and not pursued the girls at all. And that's everything I have to say about Haru no Ashoto. Another video game promotion, this time for an old visual novel that the time forgot, and that I believe it doesn't deserve to be called one of the worst anime shows out there. I suggest to check it out if you are curious about other anime that are based on Minori properties, but only that. It doesn't have a lot of value, but it's not insulting to watch like other shows. This is everything from my part. This is Elkepsan. You can give likes and subscribe to see what will be the next bad anime review, or you can even suggest me one bad anime and I'll check it out. Take care in whatever you do and see you next time. Goodbye, people.